Well, hello and welcome to everybody. How are you all today? I hope you're doing really, really well. It's been one of those days for me again. Things just haven't quite gone right and to plan. However, things have got sorted. So it's been a really interesting day. So yes, I've got Britney, I've got Bill Cosby on the list for today. But Melissa Caddick update today. I actually sat and watched the part of the proceedings today, and they were all arguing over they're arguing over the parents' house, whether there is a right for the court, and how far does the court's rights go in response to her jury, Melissa Caddick's jury. So, in what things is there any property that the court shouldn't have jurisdiction over when it comes to working out what is to be used to pay back the victims? And so it was all argument over jury and property all today. So it was very interesting, and it was all done online. So they were all the judge, Justice Marvick was sitting in the courtroom, and all the lawyers and all the parties, the lawyers were all just in little squares. It was like what was those game shows, Perfect Squares or something? Where they're just all on it. It was really quite bizarre. I've only just started Ballistic, so yeah. And of course, we've had another Katie Joy meltdown as well. So it's just another day, another meltdown. I don't know. I'm just getting to the point of having no words with that. So who have we got here at the moment? We've got Will and Bo in Trigger Happy, John Fox, Ballistic, Jenna. Yes, Hollywood Squares. Yes, brand new bunch. Hello, Caddick. Yes, and hello, Nightbot. You haven't sorted yourself out yet. Apparently, yes, because now there's a hitman involved, allegedly. So, and there's no mods. That's right, Wind Whispers. There are no mods at the moment. They didn't get the memo. Well, most of my mods, my Australian mods, ironically, are actually all in lockdown. They're actually in lockdown. Gail, Poppy Seeds, and Peter are all in lockdown. I'm the only one that's free. So anyway, the other thing is former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. Hello, Poppy Seed. See, Poppy's heard her name. Poppy's come out. Former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull's come out and criticised the vaccinations. He also, apparently, Harrison was telling me this, and I haven't found it, but he did a Q&A for kids where they could ask the former Prime Minister any questions that they want. And the most pressing question that a child had was, can the Prime Minister swear? And his answer was yes, and a lot. Apparently. Yes, the Prime Minister can swear, and swears a lot, is what Turnbull said. Yeah. Yeah, my body's broken. I've got to get Rick to have another look at Nightbot, because Nightbot's not working properly. Actually, Nightbot's not working since Rick touched it. So, I shouldn't put it like that. I shouldn't say it like that. That's not what I meant. Whoops. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean That's right, he's got the alias of Ralph. Hello, Marissa. It's funny. I've got to ask Rick to reprogram Nightbot. That's what I meant. Can we call Rick the Nightbot? Oh. We're all comedians. Yeah. Well, as long as Nightbot doesn't have any stalkers or doesn't get any nasty emails, we're right. Oh, boy. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes... Yeah, it's got to do with scripting. I had a look at it. I actually had a look, and I couldn't actually work it out myself. So Nightbot got rickety. So I'm gonna have to ask. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask Rick to have another look at Nightbot and see whether he can fix the errors in there. Because yeah, I had a look and I couldn't find them. Oh. This is why you keep coming back, Trigger Happy, because I suffer from foot and mouth disease. Because I suffer from foot and mouth disease, and I sometimes just say things and then I realise what I've said. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. Oh. Nightbot hoo-hoo. Oh. How am I doing from the hospital? So yeah, it's getting that way. Hello, Osbel. Oh. So anyway, and I've only just started it, and I've already stuffed up. We've already got the wrong. So I know you asked how I am. My ear is still very sore. I've got the earache again, so I think I've got another doctor's visit. Between my car going to the mechanic and myself going to the doctor, I think, but my car's been working fine. So Oh, boy. Yeah, the profile pictures are amazing. I noticed that people were starting to grab theirs and put theirs as their profile pictures, so that's pretty amazing stuff. All right, so do we want to start with Bill Cosby or do we want to start with Britney Spears first? Or do we want to start with Katie Joy first? Dom's not here to control me, so we'll put it to a vote. From the laughter, I feel like I'm doing well. Listening quickly, but I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I'm doing all right. You want to look at Britney first? Okay. So it appeared in my Twitter feed actually, and so this is how I've found out about it, and I'm actually quite surprised. This is because this has appeared on Twitter. They're in the Discord. Wind Whispers. But if you send me an email to Joe's Pearls and Gems at JoanneXX, I can send it to you. So this is Variety. So this was the link that appeared in my Twitter feed. And I have to say, I'm pretty surprised. The judge denies Britney Spears' request to remove father from conservatorship again. Hello, Gail. I missed. You just missed my foot in mouth issue, Gail. So Variety says, so this is reported by Variety. So the judge has shot down Britney Spears. Come on, computer. Nightbot doesn't want me to work now. Has shot down her request to have her father removed from the conservatorship, at least for now. Has denied a months-old request by Spears' attorney to remove her father as sole conservator. These documents are not in response to last week's testimony. So apparently the judge cannot make any ruling based on what she said, as she's still yet to file a petition to terminate her conservatorship. So essentially, so this is going back to last year's conservator. So this is the request from November 2020. Today's paperwork was solely intended for the judge to approve Bessemer Trust as the co-conservator, but also reiterates the judge's decision to not remove the elder Spear from the pop star's conservatorship. However, it's significant that the document was signed by Judge Penny on June 30 after the singer's explosive testimony where she told the judge that her conservatorship was abusive. So she made a 24-minute testimony last week talking about how her dad controls her life. So Wednesday's court filing states that the court found Spears to be substantially unable to manage his or her financial resources or to resist fraud or undue influence. Yeah, that's my understanding too, Poppy Seeds. It was an informal request to remove for this one, so they have to make a formal request. So this is... However, there is now a co-conservator. So there's now another party. So it means that everything that her dad does now is going to be seen by somebody else. So yes, that's right. But she on stage, she's going to make them so. So my understanding is that now there's this other conservator that's in charge of. So it's going to hopefully. She said, "I just want my life back. It's been 13 years." So I guess now, if she makes a formal petition, she might get it. But at the moment, there is another conservator being appointed. So the Conservatives request to suspend James P. Spears immediately upon the reappointment of Bessemer Trust Company of California as sole conservator of the estate is denied without this, the court documents filed on Wednesday stated. The new court filings are a legal setback, but the judge's denial is nothing new. So Bessemer Trust is also now the co-conservator. I'm hoping that they get to have a bit of a. I'm hoping they get to have a bit of a say as to how some of us have. What? Have you been kicked? Oh, I'll just have a look, see what Nightbot's doing. Has Nightbot been misbehaving? Hang on, I'm just trying to find out. Hang on. Oh, to dry up. Oh, hopefully we are finally. So there's a question for Poppy. Is it easier to keep tabs on the dad for co-conservator? I think by the looks of it, Bo, I think that would be the case. I know it says I've been kicked, and I'm just trying to work out who's been kicked. Some of us have been land kicked. I'm trying to just work it out. Nightbot. Oh, we've been landlocked. Okay, no, it's not Nightbot. Okay. I was going to say, I can't. Nightbot is sick, yes. Oh, that's all right. I was a bit worried there. Come fix your Nightbot. Her state is something like 60 mil, but I think she just wears heaps more than that. So I think from what I can work out, she needs to file there has to be another document filing to remove her father. But the company that is the conservator, hopefully. But I just found it very interesting because, the headline says, Judge denies Britney Spears request to remove conservatorship. You just victim blame Nightbot. I don't know. Really? Surely there would have to be some medical, investigations done. So I have no idea. I have to tell you, I have no idea how this works. I was just, if you're on the computer, you do @ but that's all I know. Well, yes, I was going to say that was Britney Spears being stuck in her conservatorship is actually a very interesting segue to Bill Cosby. Now, I believe it was a technicality that he got out of, is what I've been hearing. Because there was some evidence that was not supposed to have got into court that got into court. I don't know. I'm still trying to work it all out. Now my computer's not liking me either. How's that? Well, we know what KJ's content will be tomorrow. I'm surprised. I've missed your love. I'm actually surprised she didn't do a story on Bill Cosby, actually, to be honest with you. So he was released from prison after his conviction of SA charges was overturned. 83-year-old Cosby walked out of the State Correctional Institution, Phoenix, on Wednesday afternoon. he said that his publicist was going to pick him up from prison, so there was aerial footage. He emerged from his home and walked to the end of his driveway where he stood, and the lawyers addressed the media. He smiled as they asked him to respond to no longer being incarcerated, but he declined to speak. What we saw today was justice for all Americans. The actor released a statement on Twitter saying, "I have never changed my stance nor my story. I've always maintained my innocence. Thank you to my fans, supporters, and friends who stood by me through this ordeal. Special thanks to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court for upholding the rule of law." So that's his legal team. In 3 years of unjust sentence, he did it with dignity, principle, and was a mentor to other inmates. He was really, as I do say, doing the time. The time was not doing him. So he was sentenced 2018. Oh, great. I'm having a great day, everyone. Where are we? Yes, you can see what I've been viewing on. Oh, wow, I've got a million tabs open. He was sentenced in 2018 to 10 years in state prison for allegedly drugging and SA, the former Temple University employee. He served 3 years. Today's major decision regarding Bill Cosby is not only disappointing but of concern in that it may discourage those who seek justice for SA in the criminal justice system from reporting or participating in the prosecution of the assailant, or may force a victim to choose between filing either a criminal or civil action. So last year, Pennsylvania State Court agreed to hear 2 points in Cosby's appeal to overturn his 2018 conviction. In the ruling, the state Supreme Court concluded that Cosby's prosecution should never have occurred due to a deal with the comedian cut with the Montgomery County prosecutor, Bill Castor, who agreed not to criminally prosecute Cosby if he gave a deposition in a civil case brought to him by Constant. During the deposition, Cosby made incriminating statements that Castor's successor, Kevin R. Steele, used to charge Cosby in 2015. Constant said in a statement that the decision to overturn the conviction resulted from a procedural technicality. Castor is the same lawyer who went to represent President Donald Trump during the ex-president's second impeachment trial earlier this year. So it was a technicality, and it was a loophole, yeah. Who said that the prosecutor should lose their job? So the decision went on to say that Cosby was the victim of the unconstitutional coerce, bait and switch. Believing he had immunity from criminal prosecution, Cosby testified during 4 days of depositions by Constant's attorney, and the civil lawsuit was settled for more than $3 million in 2006. As a practical matter, the moment that Cosby was charged criminally, he was harmed. All that he had forfeited earlier and the consequences of the forfeiture in the civil case were for naught. Cosby cannot be retried on the criminal charges. He was found guilty by jury and now goes free on a procedural issue that is irrelevant to the facts of the crime, Steele said in a statement on Wednesday afternoon. Steele commended Constant for her bravery in coming forward and remaining steadfast throughout this long ordeal. My decision is that this decision will not dampen the reporting of SA by victims. Yes, slow mode's on, sorry. Prosecutors in my office will continue to follow evidence wherever and whomever it leads. We still believe that no one is above the law, including those who are rich and famous and powerful. In an interview in KYW News Radio in Philadelphia, Castor said he was not surprised by the state Supreme Court's decision. I can only ever recall it happening once before in a case that the prosecutor's behaviour was so egregious that the Supreme Court threw the case out and didn't remand for a new trial. So it is rare, but what happened to Mr. Cosby is really I can't even say the word. And what they did to him should never have happened to any American citizen. Yeah, I was going to say the word "ois" from yeah, that's what I said. Rick programmed him, and so he's had some issues since he got reprogrammed. So, attorney Gloria Allred represented several women who testified at Cosby's trial to bolster the prosecution's evidence of prior bad acts against the entertainer to prove a pattern of practice. Despite the Pennsylvania Supreme Court decision, this was an important fight for justice, Allred told ABC News Radio. And even though the court overturned the conviction on technical grounds, it did not vindicate Bill Cosby's conduct and should not be interpreted as a statement or a finding that he did not engage in the acts of which he has been accused. So there you go. So he's free and he can't be retried now. It's the Fifth Amendment in the right not to incriminate yourself. So he incriminated himself thinking he couldn't be charged criminally when he was sued civilly, and in the end it came back to bite him. Is that the long and short story? So yeah, I don't know what Cosby does now. I don't know how he's going to be perceived in the community. I don't know how he's going to be perceived. And it looks like it was just a technicality, and they're probably the worst. They're probably the hardest ones to swallow, aren't they? When they're the technical, when they get off on the technicality. It's Physics Down Under. I've got a picture for you. Courtesy of Osbel. She's drawn a picture of you. Why do I think this is the type of precedent? There are a few cases in the mix of one. Well, this is the thing, right? Let's just put tinfoil hats on at the moment. I automatically think of Josh Duggar. They're looking at a technicality at the moment over the way his arrest was. And yeah, Physics Down Under. Here you are. Osbel drew a picture of you. Nice atom. A nice atom. Wouldn't want you. Yeah, so that's Physics Down Under, everybody. I love the hat with the corks on it. Osbel has done a really amazing job with that. So that is really cute, isn't it? Well, I failed physics. It was the algebra. I couldn't do. So, so I'm thinking whether Josh Duggar's going to use a technicality to get off his stuff too. But I mean, he hasn't had a civil case, and there's no civil stuff. But it looks like technicalities seems to be the way to go at the moment to try and get off. All right. So let's get on to the next topic. We're moving along here. Let's talk about Melissa Caddick today. If you're in the Discord, I did actually post the court thing on here. So this is one of the reports today. So this was what happened before lunch. After lunch, there was more arguments, and the judge is now making a decision. So Melissa Caddick's parents. So there was lawyers there for the parents. There were lawyers there for ASIC. There was lawyers there for Melissa Caddick. There were lawyers for the liquid. There was lawyers there for everybody. Like they were just. It was like Hollywood Squares or the Brady Bunch. Everybody had something to say about this. So Melissa Caddick's parents object to her estate being sold off to repay defrauded investors. Now, interestingly enough, that neither of the properties that Caddick owns or needs to pay for have actually had a payment made since March. So the parents of Sydney businesswoman Melissa Caddick object to everything she owned being sold off to repay the money she took from clients, the federal court has heard. ASIC, the Australian Securities Investment Commission, is trying to recoup more than $23 million left owing to the 72 clients of Caddick and her financial services company. The court has heard she misappropriated investors' money to buy real estate, holidays, luxury goods over a period of 8 years and sent them to fictitious portfolios. On Thursday, a barrister representing Miss Caddick's parents, Ted and Barbara Gramley, Sarah Merzbergen, said the couple objected to pooling the personal assets of their daughter with those of her company. She said that they had receipts for items such as jewellery they purchased for their daughter and would like to keep some of the items to remember her by. What has happened with this matter is that it has been proceeding on the basis that every item taken from the Dover Heights property last year seems to be treated as though it can be realised for the purpose of the receivership. It is concerning that there will be items caught up in the receivership process which are not subject to any trust in the value of the investors. So they're talking about some jewellery. There was some expensive jewellery that Melissa Caddick owned that the parents want to hold on to. And ASIC's actually saying, well, actually, it was bought by money from fraud. That everything that she owned, that she purchased, was bought with money that didn't belong to her. So the parents have also made a claim on the $2.5 million Edgecliff penthouse that she purchased in 2016, saying that they contributed $1 million towards it. They're not accused of being in the fraud. Justice Bridget Markovic had previously expressed concern about how Miss Caddick's estate and the estate of her company would be divided up, flagging difficulty in deciding what assets belong to each one. So they're actually, it seems that even for Caddick and the company, that there seems to be an overlap as to what was owned by what. So the barrister for ASIC told the court that the ASIC application did not intend to exclude the rights of Miss Caddick's parents from making claims on her estate. However, he said her sole income from October 2012 to 2020 had been from investor funds. The evidence establishes that only the way to get her major assets could have been purchased was the theft of investor funds. This fraud needs to be unravelled, and it is within the court's power to take the first step to appoint receivers to unravel the fraud. So, and then he said no one has yet made the official finding that Miss Caddick was deceased, and the court had been told that the police was due to had handed over something to the coroner's court a fortnight ago. So this was what the arguments were in court. All the parties, so the parents, Melissa Caddick, lawyer, ASIC, were all arguing over what should be included in what can be assessed to be paid back to the clients. And ASIC's point was the money was everything that she bought, including that house, was bought with money that wasn't hers. Now, the parents sold their house. They lived in a house. They actually sold their house and had put the $1 million they had invested in their house was actually from the sale of their previous house. So they sold their house and put the $1 million in as a deposit for the penthouse. But Melissa Caddick took over everything. So it's a mess. So now the judge is actually going to make a determination, has to try and unravel to work out what is able to be used and what's not able to be used, if that makes sense. It's very confusing. But ASICS kept coming back to the point that it was all money from stolen funds. And in fact, there is a Proceeds of Crime Act, which means that if you benefit from funds that are stolen, you're not entitled to that. So they were actually quoting from the proceeds of crime. And then they were quoting from the, actually, I've got the charges here too, actually. Did any of her assets investment? Don't know. That's what that, and this is the thing. Now, I think the property was in her name. Happy to take money, save all the. I believe the property was in her name. I know it is like that, isn't it? So there was a whole pile of documents uploaded today on the file. So this is the file. So we looked at where are we? Oh, there's been more added. Oh wow, there's been heaps more added. All right, we yesterday we went through here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 documents have been added. Now, the interesting thing of, I knew which one I was going to read, but now it's all the same. So this is consent. So this is them asking for consent to consent of risk. So that in here they're saying that they don't have any conflict of interest. I want to have a look at what these documents are because I'm very interested now. I think most of our nights can be on this. Well, I think they need to be added on the list of victims because they've obviously lost some money. So, this one's 30 pages. So this is, let's have a look who this is from. I don't know what, there's been nothing. And this is why ASIC wants the receivers in to work out what on earth it is all about. So this is from a compliance manager. Compliance manager. This is redacted. So let's have a look. So this is somebody from the Commonwealth Bank. So this is the bank. I'm currently employed by the Commonwealth Bank of Australia as a Commonwealth Securities Limited compliance manager. I have had this role since 15th November 2009 and have been employed by CBA since the 5th of December 2016. This is the second affidavit I've sworn in these proceedings. At paragraph 8 of my earlier affidavit, I described the ComC database and the customer service console database. In the paragraphs below, I provide some additional information regarding the two databases. The ComC database contains broader customer information than the CSC database. The ComC database contains customer information relating to accounts or products that a customer holds across the broader Commonwealth Bank. For example, a search of the ComC database will generate search results indicating whether a particular customer has any credit cards, home loans, or other business loans with Commonwealth Bank. A search of the ComC database will also generate search results indicating whether a particular customer has any share trading accounts with ComC. While it is possible to search the ComC database to determine whether a customer holds a ComC account, the ComC database does not contain specific information relating to a customer's ComC account, such as their shareholdings or trading history. That information is held in the CSC database. In contrast, the CSC database only contains information concerning a customer's share trade account. So accordingly, a search of the CSC database will definitely tell me whether or not there exists a CommSec account with a particular account number, and if a CommSec account with a particular account number exists, the name of the party that holds the CommSec account. It is not possible for a CommSec account number to be stored in the CommSec database without it being stored in the CSC database. Accordingly, if a search of the CSC database using a purported CommSec account number generates 0 matches, it is unnecessary to conduct a secondary search in the CommSec database in respect of the purported CommSec account number. Yes, short order, Cook. That sounds about right, doesn't it? At paragraph 10 of my earlier affidavit, I stated that I filled out information in columns I, J, and K of the Excel spreadsheet behind tab 1 of Exhibit JE1 in respect to the Excel spreadsheet. So they're going to talk about the spreadsheet. I'm hoping it's here as evidence. So I think what she's proving is that there is that she doesn't hold any accounts. I think that's what she's saying. So column I indicates whether the account number provided to me by ASIC was located within the CSC database. Column J is whether the account number provided by ASIC appearing in the portfolio statement and transaction statement is there. And column J records comments that they made in respect to the searches. So just clarifying what they said earlier. So then she says, there is only one instant in which the account number I used from the portfolio valuations provided to me by ASIC in paragraph 9 of my early affidavit matched an account name. I think it was someone else's account number from memory. In most cases, the account numbers of the portfolio variations provided to me by ASIC matched a genuine CommSec account within the CSC database. However, the respective account details did not match the name. That is, the account numbers set out in the portfolio valuations were genuine CommSec account numbers, but they do not match the CommSec investor purported to be named in the portfolio variations. That is what I understood. So they've redacted the names here. That's right. That's how she got caught, because somebody tracked down the CommSec number and contacted the person who owned it. That's how this all unraveled. So as I said, they've redacted all the names. So this is the person from the bank. So I remember now. Please attach so this is the business name of Caddick Malabar Proprietary Limited. Dear someone, attach, please find portfolio evaluation for the period ending, and Melissa Caddick, and as I said, it's a different account number. Yes, it belonged to a different woman. And that's how she got found out. So, and all the numbers were made up. So all of these were made up, but it was a real account number. So again, and she used real names of companies, and real stock valuations, but did not use at all. So again, this was all faked, I believe. So yeah. So that's how she got found out, was the fact that it got found out. So there was one here today that I read. This guy was quoted a lot today. The receivers, provincial receivers. He's a receiver, and they all want their own. They all want their own receivers in as well, which is also the other issue. Yeah, so she got caught when somebody tracked down the person who, by accident, they had no idea that it was. So anyway, so that is waiting on. We're still not there. I think there's still more to come. But we're getting closer to an outcome. Well, the judge has to decide whether or not the house can be part of the property and what part of property is in play. So here's a question for you. Do you think that all of her personal possessions, her expensive jewelry, should be part of the paying out of the victims, or should the parents be allowed to keep items? Because the parents are saying they want to keep some items, but what if it's the most expensive jewelry? You know, how do you determine what was bought with genuine money and what was bought with fake money, unless you investigate it? That's what I want to know. If it was a family heirloom. Suck it up. Well, the coroner has to decide. So the coroner has a report. So now the coroner has to decide whether she is still alive or still dead. Oh, it's still. Sorry, I'm really having a great one tonight. Whether she's alive or whether she's dead. Well, yes, anything that was purchased before the fraud, I think they can keep. They would have to prove that it was purchased before the fraud. And what about the house? They put $1 million into the house. Should they be able to keep their house? That's the next question. That's my next question for you. I know I've got slow mode on. It's just sometimes I can't keep up with it. So I've only got it on. I think I've got it on for 20 seconds. So if their name isn't on the deed of the house, then it's not their house. So if it was sold, should they be able to get their $1 million back? Now, the judge made up a good point because, remember, she pretended that she was registered as a financial service officer, and ASIC was talking about penalties, and the judge pointed out that those penalties only are for people who were in the financial services industry, and had let their license lapse or something, but she never had a license. So it's very bizarre. It's really bizarre how this is going, because it's fraud. She's pretended to have a financial service, but then you've got to decide, is she under the regulations of the financial service laws, operators laws, because she didn't have a license? Why did they need to sell the house? I don't know, totally clueless. That's never ever been stated. Yeah. Well, she could have paid them back. They could. Can anyone remember the amount of money that the husband needed? Was it $1,900 a week or something that they were wanting? That he was wanting for his essential expenses, and we all just said, "Wow, $1,900 a week." But that's the thing, Short Order Cook. Her parents are actually victims in this as well, unfortunately. And it's funny she disappeared. And she'd not been caught. Was the plan for the house and the partner? Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Like, if she hadn't been caught, she possibly wouldn't have disappeared. And I mean, if you drive a car and you don't have a license, you still get charged under, as if like you get charged for not having a license, but you're expected to still follow the laws of the road, I guess, is how I see it. So the judge actually has quite a few things that she actually has to decide. How do they determine what's business and what's personal? How do they? $1,900 Australian a week. It was. I'm sure it was something like that. The son's in private school, the mortgage, and the husband hasn't worked. There's been nothing on the family situation. Well, that's the thing. The police have. Well, the family had a memorial service for her. I'm going to see that. They had a memorial service for her, but it's up to the coroner to decide. Well, it could be. If she is alive, her assets are offshore. So here it is. Here is the article. When did they do this? This was in April. They did this. So her foot is cremated. So they cremated her foot, as she farewelled in a private ceremony by a handful of mourners. And despite conspiracy theory, she's not dead. So she was farewelled in a private service in Matraville on Tuesday. Well, this was the 6th of April. Her foot, which was washed ashore in a shoe on February 21, has been cremated. Her husband, parents, brother, and friends attended the service. So as I say, Melissa Caddick, she's a con woman from Australia who disappeared in November, having conned people. I think they've got all but $72 million back. I know, I say all but. All but. Well, they've never said. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that they've not said. Sovereign, that's my thought too. She did a Holt. She did a Harold Holt. So remember, this is the foot. the shoe in the foot. At least the media had enough thing to in a rare Asics shoe was found 400 kilometres away from her home. Oh, it says here that they withdrew the warrant for her. Yes, so they dropped all the charges from her and have just left the charges to do with the fraud. So this is her and her husband. And he's a hairdresser. So, but yeah, so we're going back to November. I think November she was missing. The whole shoe and foot thing is just too obvious for me. Good old lockdown, sweatpants and travelling to the living room. I'm not in lockdown. So that's all right, Ashleen. We've done Britney, we've done Bill Cosby, we're on to Melissa Caddick. We're just I think they also investigated the ex-husband or the father of her son. I think rub it into our faces, Melbourne. Oh, come on. The thing is, you've got to say we should be able to rub it in because we've had it pretty tough. Would you? You'd lose a foot? I think I would too, actually. So the foot's now cremated. So as far as the family's concerned, they assume she's dead. They're assuming she's dead. I'm just going to turn this off because they're assuming she's dead. So it's now up to coroner to decide. Sounds like yeah. It was she was never caught. She disappeared the day that she was all her stuff was to be seized. She went for a walk. It's fair. And don't forget, Victoria's the lockdown expert, so we know how to do it. We know how to lock down very well. Brisbane, that is. Yeah, Brisbane's in a little bit of trouble. New South Wales, I think, they're in lots of trouble. I was very pleased to hear Gladys finally admit that there was a problem. I read this article too. I mean, for a lot of people in the US won't know this story. But it was a while ago now. I have to. Hey, it took us 4 goes to get it right. We needed to keep practicing until we got it right. I don't know whether the Australians can remember 2015 when a Australian rules football coach was murdered. Does anyone remember that? He was the coach of the Port Adelaide Football Club at the time. Adelaide Crows. Sorry, the coach of the Adelaide Crows. The coach of the Adelaide Crows at the time, and he was murdered. Anyway, his son's faced court again today. So his son was charged with the murder of his father. He pled mental insanity, and he's been actually he was deemed medically incompetent, and he has just asked the court right to from an Adelaide mental health facility. So in 2015, he stabbed his father to death 6 times, and he was found not guilty due to mental incompetence. He appeared before the court. Well, he appeared via video conferencing to the court today, where he's on a mental health supervision order. So the doctors have confirmed that he's doing well with accompanied leave, and he'd like to be able to leave the venue and return on his own. But the court has said that he has to take medical and psychological tests before they will make a ruling. So that will happen in September. They'll make that ruling when all of the tests are done. So last year, the court ruled that he could leave the facility under the supervision of his mother or another designated person. He'd also had moved from a high security psychiatric unit to a low security psychiatric unit. So I'm wondering what your thoughts about that are. He was deemed medically incompetent to be guilty. He stabbed his father to death 6 times after an argument. He's been having treatment, and now he's been having supervised visits, so he's been able to go out with his mother, and now he wants to be able to leave the facility on his own. What do you reckon? I know there were a lot of people very angry that he was deemed not guilty due to mental incompetence. You'd want an opinion from several practitioners, not just one? You reckon he should now go to jail? Well, here's the thing. If he's now competent, can he face trial? Should he be able to... Any other fathers? I don't know physics, none of that. Well, because I'd reckon nah, but I'm American. That's okay. I'm interested. I'm just interested because so if he was found not guilty due to medical incompetence, should they be able to retry him now that he's mentally competent? It seems a lot of people. Well, this is the thing. This seems to be the theme of the day. Technicalities, eh? If he's competent, he should be able to face. So you reckon that if he is now competent, he should just now go to jail? I don't know what the. So they've said he's got to take medical and psychological tests before they will make a ruling. So I don't know. So they said he was medically incompetent with undiagnosed schizophrenia when he stabbed his father. But I thought I'm going back along at the time. I thought it was diagnosed at the time. It's a bit scary, isn't it, Graham? It's a bit scary that it could be. It doesn't say. I don't know. I can't remember back that far, but I know that there was, as I said, I know that there was lots of anger because. All right, here's the original report. Here is the report here. So this is back in 2016. Walsh not guilty of murdering Crows coach Phil Walsh due to mental incompetence. He was found not guilty of murder by reason of mental incompetence in relation to his father's death. He was detained in a secure psychiatric facility after he was arrested and charged with murdering his father. He pleaded not guilty to murder by reason of mental incompetence at the last hearing. The prosecution indicated it would accept the plea. So the prosecution accepted the plea. Formally made a ruling that Walsh was not guilty of murder by reason of mental incompetence. She found the objective elements or facts of the offering proved. That meant the court was satisfied Walsh killed his father, but that he was not criminally responsible for his crime because of his mental state. So she said privacy rules in relation to patients that have mental illnesses need to be readdressed. She said there were 2 occasions when doctors told her son to continue to take his medication, but had not alerted the family of his needs to do so. Because he was an adult, the medical profession didn't involve any other person with his healthcare. She said family members of people suffering mental illness needed to be told what was required in the way of medication. He suffered a psychotic episode. She accepted the opinions of forensic psychologists that Walsh suffered an undiagnosed and untreated schizophrenia. I find that he was not labouring under a drug-induced psychosis at the time of the conduct. I find he was suffering from a psychotic episode as a result of schizophrenia, which at the time of the conduct was undiagnosed and untreated. He was not intoxicated. Under South Australian law, he will be subjected to a lifetime psychiatric supervision order, the terms of which would be determined by the court. So it looks like he's going to have a lifetime psychiatric supervision order. So I thought he had a mental. So I mean, from that interview there, it sounded like he did have a mental illness and he was on medication, but it doesn't sound like because she's saying that people, families where there's family members with mental illnesses, that families should be able to know what's going on. So I'm sort of taking that to say that he had a mental illness. Of course, we're armchair detectives. Why not, eh? We should be. Isn't this much more fun? It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun. And I'm thinking, and it also helps all of our American friends and UK friends know that our country is just has all the same issues, and we can discuss them. I mean, we've discussed conservatorship, we've discussed technicalities of law, we're discussing technicalities of law, which are really, on some really serious issues. We're going to sort out, just give us all the unsolved crimes, hey? Trial by YouTube. Here we go. This is Malcolm Turnbull's answers kids' questions. Here.
Yes, they do.
This was on the ABC.
Yes, they do.
I'm
afraid to say.
Do Prime Ministers swear? All right. So this is former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. He was our millionaire Prime Minister.
Do Prime Ministers swear?
Yes, they do. I'm afraid to say all the Prime Ministers I know swear, but some more than others.
Prime Minister swear. Right, let's go back and let's look at this. So this is called Little Kids Big Talk, and it's Malcolm Turnbull. He was the 29th Prime Minister of Australia. All right, so let's have a watch.
Swear?
Yes, they do. I'm afraid to say all the Prime Ministers I know swear, but some more than others. And none of them should, of course.
None of them should, of course. Politics. This is Harrison told me about this.
My name's Lucky. Hello, my name's Bella.
Hi, Bella and Malcolm.
Did you want to be a Prime Minister or did somebody force you to?
I definitely wanted to be. No one forces you to be Prime Minister. It's definitely for volunteers.
What Prime Minister is your least favourite?
Is my least favourite. The one I didn't like the most. Oh, that's a bit tough. There are Prime Ministers I admire more than others, but I couldn't tell you the one I admire the least. So
Scotty.
Myself. Do you ever sing accounting song?
Scotty, he hates Scotty. Because Scotty outed him. He's very diplomatic. I know, physics down under. That was the question I want. Which has the most swears? I reckon Hawke would have dropped a few in his time.
Ever sing accounting song? You can sing me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did you like being Prime Minister?
Yeah, I did. I liked it a lot. Yeah, I liked it a lot, and I like being able to do good things for the future of Australia, for kids like you, and I always enjoyed meeting kids.
Mr. Turnbull, is it okay if I ask you what car you drive?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just before I get onto the car, well, I'll tell you what the car is. The car is a Camry.
He drives a Camry? No way! He drives a Camry? No way! He drives a Camry.
Well, I'll tell you what the car is. The car is a Camry. Picked up my little grandson once in it, and he said, "Baba," he calls me Baba. He said, "Baba, are you an Uber driver?" Because most of the Ubers in taxis in Sydney are Camry hybrids, as my car is. Yes, I'm not a car fanatic, if you know what I mean.
47, 48, 49, 52, 50, 51, 52. Why are politicians always so cranky?
Well, they shouldn't be, and they're not always cranky, but they're often arguing with each other.
Why are they disagreeing with each other?
Well, sometimes because they genuinely do disagree. There are often genuine disagreements. Sometimes they are exaggerated because each side of politics is trying to differentiate, that's to say, to emphasise the
He's trying to.
between themselves, so they can encourage people.
He's using some big words for that. Camry. I could have just heard Harrison if Turnbull said I drive a Camry, it would have gone, yeah, right. He's a millionaire. No way he'd be driving a Camry. Doesn't he still get a driver being the ex-Prime Minister? Doesn't he still get a driver? That little girl's on to me. This is cool.
Do you know any jokes?
Knock.
Who's there?
Isabel. Isabel necessary on a bicycle.
That's a funny one.
Oh, good.
87, 80 to 9. No, 90.
90.
Oh, they could be the next treasurers, those two. He's in politician mode.
That's right.
91, 92. Can we have another Prime Minister who's a woman?
I hope so. Absolutely. And I hope we don't have to wait until you're old enough to be Prime Minister. But you could be Prime Minister. But yeah, I think we've only had one woman Prime Minister, and that's not good enough.
98.
He can't even.
100.
He couldn't even bring himself to say her name. Hello, Plan to Create. And he's got a Camry, Gail. A Camry. And he's got a Camry.
Very good job. Very good counting. Oh, that's great. That's a good counting song. So, Marla, what would you do if you were the Prime Minister?
If I was the Prime Minister, I would stop cigaretting,
Stop cigaretting.
stop factories, so the polar bears could have homes. I could buy a puppy,
A puppy.
a little one.
A puppy. Okay, all right. Well, you'd get a prime ministerial dog.
I would help the poor people, the homeless people.
That's a really important thing to do.
It was so lovely to meet you, Malcolm.
And lovely to meet you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Animosity between who? Oh, that was. Oh, Harrison. Yeah, Harrison told me that. He told me that it was funny. But why did do Prime Minister swear? Oh boy. So Malcolm Turnbull was the Prime Minister before our current Prime Minister, and he was outed. He lost a leadership to the current Prime Minister. But yes, we have only had one female Prime Minister. I do have to say, I do agree. To be fair, he didn't take a paycheck. Yeah. And I agree with that. I mean, we didn't need to pay for it. I didn't see why we should have to double dip. Who was it that kept talking about the double dippers? Was that Abbott? I so wished we had Abbott as Prime Minister and Costello as Treasurer, because that just would have made it, given us something to laugh about. I would have loved to have said, oh, we have Abbott and Costello running our country. We've talked about Britney Spears, Bill Cosby, Melissa Caddick, Walsh, and we've just talked about Malcolm Turnbull being scared of little kitties. But no, not much. Not much at all. I'm just. Oh yes, that's right. It was double dipping. It was Joe Hockey, wasn't it? It was Hockey talking about double dipping. This is so much more pleasant. Cool. The KJ drama has me so tired. I have to say. I can't deal. I just, it's actually really hurting my head to try and even make sense of any of it. So I have to say, I'm just tired of it all. Particularly when she uses, I feel like, no, I haven't looked up Thomas C yet. I need to, Graham. I've got a note to do it. It's on my post-it note to do, but I actually had something come up today. So our ministers are away, and I'm running the place, and the person that's supposed to preach in 2 weeks is stuck in Queensland. And he messaged today to say that they've been told once they can get out of Queensland, they have to quarantine for 14 days, which means he can't do the church service. So I actually have had to spend the day finding somebody to do the service. Otherwise, it was going to be me. And, you know, yes. So anyway, that's what happened. What? Is that what the Prime Minister gets paid? $550,000 a year. It's about $500,000 too much. Although everyone is tagging me and stuff at the moment. It's great because people have stuff that they want me to see. There was this, I got tagged in this today, which is funny.
Scott Morrison's failure, and he hasn't been seen.
This is Julian again, our mate Julian, and so this is what he posted. I got tagged in this. There was an ad, and so this is all right. Here we go. Oh, come on! Well, $1 million a year. Yeah, the Prime Minister's not doesn't have the highest paid job in Australia. Come on. I can't see where it is.
Million Australians are now in lockdown, stuck at home because of Scott Morrison's failure, and he hasn't been seen for days now. What's happened to him? It's 10 p.m. the other night. He popped up on TV when he was last seen and said, against the medical advice of the last week, young people can now get AstraZeneca if they go to their GP. Well, he didn't ask the doctors, he didn't ask the state premiers or even tell them he was going to do this, and the Australian Medical Association don't agree. He's caused chaos and confusion, and there's fear as this disease is now spreading across our cities again because of more leaks from hotel quarantine. When the Prime Minister gets out from under his doona and decides to come back and do his job, he needs to pick up Labor's positive 4-point plan to fix this mess. Number 1, get Australians a choice in vaccine and get this rollout back on track. We're last in the developed world. This is disgraceful. Number 2, scrap hotel quarantine. Purpose-built quarantine in every state near major airports so people can come home safely and get those stranded Australians back home safely. Number 3, we need to make mRNA vaccines in this country. Make the commitment, stop mucking around. Let's commit to get this technology into Australia for our future. And number 4, a proper public education campaign with proper government-funded information on the televisions, on the internet, to stop outsourcing public education to that tosser Clive Palmer, Scott Morrison's good mate.
There we go. That's Julian. I can't think of his surname. He was on the other day, but I saw that, and he titled it "Mr Morrison, Where Are You?" So, so yeah, I got tagged in that today. I thought that was funny, but everything that he said A doona, yes. A comforter, yeah. That's what a doona is. That's what we call a comforter, our doona. But he's right. I haven't heard that the Prime Minister's been around for ages. I know that there's another National Cabinet meeting tomorrow, and it's going to be very heated. The premiers are going to all absolutely tear shreds off him, I hear. Well, some of them. Julian Hill, that's it. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. Or maybe he has gone to Hawaii. Maybe he's gone to Hawaii. Well, that's where he was when the country burnt down. Well, it didn't burn down, but while it was burning. And he reluctantly came back and left the family there. I don't know why. Wait on, can I check the clip? Yes, I saw the clip. Yeah, I can show you. I don't mind. Hey, look. I don't care about monetization, to be perfectly honest with you. I really don't. He had been away at an event called G7. That is correct. He had been away. Is this Professor Young, the doctor? Because she's copping some flack at the moment. I just don't like the flip flopping of all the medical advice. You know, no wonder GPs are scared. Well, he's still technically quarantining, so he shouldn't be out and about anyway. You know who should be out and about? His deputy. But he's gone as well. He's MIA. If a million people had COVID, how many would die? I don't know. Well, that is true, Fox. He did ignore experts about a lot of stuff. Welcome to everybody overseas while the Australians bash their government. We're just bashing our government. All right, I'm going to play something from in Discord. The really sad thing is it does have some language in it. However, it's all true. Every part of it is true. And that's the bit that really scares me. Is how true it is. So let me just pull this up. Everyone's allowed to bash their own. Feel free. You know what? If you want to bash our Prime Minister, you can all be honorary Australians and join in if you like.
Any other name would smell as sweet. I would never.
All right, here we go. This is called the PM's hashtag song. And you'll hear all the Australians go, yep, because that's what I did. There are a few swear words in this, but this is good. Scotty from marketing, under the doona, Morrison lockdown.
By any other name would smell as sweet. I would never call this guy a deadbeat. He's known as Smoko, Promo, Slow-Mo, FOMO, Scroto, Domo, Scromo, Stuntmo, Scammo, Smo, Scooter, Smuggo, Scomouth, Shitmo.
Oh, come on, stupid broadband. That's Turnbull's fault. NBN.
Scotty from marketing, Bunnings. Scotty from carpeting. Scotty does nothing. Scotty the misogynist. Scotty the announcer. Scotty the rapist. Protector. Scotty from QAnon. Scotty the faker. Scotty the gaslighter. Scotty the traitor. Scotty from announcement. Scotty from photo op. Scotty the coward. Scotty from cover up. Scotty never helped. Scotty the fuckwit. The bully, Scotty the hypocrite, Scotty from damage control, Prime Minister, Scotty the protocol creep, Prime Sinister, Scotty the savior, Scotty from Horizon, Brian, Houston, we have a problem, Scotty the Antichrist, fake Christian, Scotty from Gilead, Scotty the chosen one, Skunt, most shouty, most gold, mold, Sco Moses, Scomatos, Scat, Scomokio, bullshit boy, Scotty the liar, Cook from Cook, liar from the Shire, Morrison fires, Morrison failure, Aloha, Scott, wife and daughter, blamer, slogan, bogan, part-time PM, lazy Scott, get fucked from Nelligan, Morrison, Scotty the cute jumper, Scovard, Scotty the prick, Scotty blah blah, Morrison outbreak, Morrison lockdown, Scotty goose factor, Scotty the clown, chicken and cubby man, barbecue curry man, beer man, barman, berry man, farmer, baker, builder, pilot, dog truck driver, barista, tired, capman, mapman, bagman, backman, labman, high vis and hard hat man, backsman, oil man, flag man, board man, coper, politics, out of sport man, Merc and mirrors, age care, neglect man, crane tank, army, robo, dead man, jerk with the smoke, I've learned not to care man, backstabbing, hand grabbing, going nowhere, man. Scotty the dictator, Scotty no friends, Scotty the observer, Scotty from Engadine, Scotty the monster, Scotty the loser, Scotty the child abuser, milkshake Morrison, Scotty the leaner, wombat, Morris gum, Mr. Spoker, Scotty the simp, job shirker, Clotmo, QAnon PM, Scotty must go.
They are all hashtags that have been used for our Prime Minister. You're right, Kristen. You're right. We like the unflattering hashtags. Unflattering nicknames, yep. Yeah. They are all hashtags that have been used for our Prime Minister. Scotty for marketing is a big one, but at the moment, it's Morrison lockdown and Morrison outbreak is the trending ones at the moment. Oh, you reckon that? Oh, that was hilarious, wasn't it? Scotty the leaner. Just watch the Australian Simpsons episode of The Simpsons is funny. Yes, Assange. Yeah, but see, they won't do anything for him either. They are all well earned. Oh, yes, he's earned every single name. Oh, well, you can try and post the link. I think the next election will be very close. I think so. Yeah. I think he can. I don't think I've got... We talk about our politics. Yeah, they always do in them. Yeah. Oh, no. But the thing that really annoyed me about that Turnbull interview is that he couldn't bring himself to say Julia's name. Oh, really? I'll have to do that. Oops. Sorry, Nomad. Oh, what did he post? It said blacklisted. Oh, timed out for 5. All right. Whoops. I think this is what he was posting. I'll have to see if I can change that. Sorry, Nomad. I'll put that on my list for Rick to fix. So, oh, really? But he gave him a warning? Yeah, see, I don't know why he does that. I don't know. What's that? You'll talk to me about it? About Nightbot? I think I might be able to fix it here. Blacklist. It was on the blacklist. It's interesting. For most things, though, I've taken it so that anyone can post. There's very few things that is for people. Most of my settings are enabled for everybody. So that's why I'm interested. Yeah. I didn't think, undesirables not posting links. Yeah, that's okay. As I said, I thought we were at the stage. I thought I'd taken most of the stuff down, like most of the commands down, but it would seem that I didn't. Just by the way, it would seem that our mods are the links. Here we go. Oh, actually, I had whitelisted YouTube, so you can share YouTube links. The trolls in there. Only for the ones that had small ones, it would seem, had issues. Cool. See? I could do it. I just grabbed it from Nightbot. He sounds worse than our Prime Minister in England can't even brush his hair. I've often wondered whether he could brush his hair. Our Prime Minister is somebody that when a young lady was he had to actually ask his wife how he should feel about it. I kid you not. And then stood up and said, my wife told me how would I feel if it was one of my daughters. So, yes, that's our Prime Minister. Jenny put everything into perspective for him to make him understand. So, yes. So that's our Prime Minister, and after all this time, there's still been nothing done about it. It's been all pushed under the carpet. And I have to tell you, she's a very strong woman because she keeps talking about it. What did Grace Tame say about Morrison asking his wife? See, that to me was so offensive that he actually had to ask his wife how he should feel about it. That was insulting. You know? Let's have a look. Oh, really? Boris could have... oh, wow. Oh, wow. A drama major. That's right. I'm just trying to find it now. Here we go. not. He didn't. Oh, I've missed all of this. So Grace Tame was she the Australian of the Year? Yeah, she was Australian. She was Australian of the Year. She's an SA survivor, and she said, "Do you know what he said to me right after I finished the speech in front of a wall of media?" She said, "I beep you not." He leaned over right in my ear and he goes, "Well, gee, I bet it felt good to get that out." Oh. That's what he said. So what happened was there's an essay and misconduct in Parliament. So Brittany Higgins has alleged that she was in Parliament House in the Defence Minister Linda Reynolds' office. Linda Reynolds had to apologise after calling Higgins, the alleged victim, a lying cow. Then there was the backlash over Morrison invoking his daughters to empathise with Higgins. And then allegations of government staffers filming and sharing footage of themselves performing sex acts in Parliament House. That's our government. Yeah, I can see you, Norman and Viscus. I can't say your second name. So that's our Prime Minister. And one of the women on his team called a victim of a lying cow. That was how they responded to it. Where is Parliament's House OnlyFans? Well, is that how they're paying for everything? By OnlyFans? Did you put it in Discord, John? I heard that Trump was hoping to come back. So so there's been a lot of backlash, particularly about the government's lack of treatment of women in general. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean, Abbott was a bumbling fool, but I don't know that he could have messed up some of this stuff. In my opinion, he's a bumbling fool. And then we've got somebody who never had their SA charges sorted out. So then we've got the Deputy Prime Minister who had sexual harassment allegations hanging over his head too. That was never done. Oh, yeah. So I can't access the Discord link, please. All right, let me get the Discord. All right. Yeah, see, that's one of the links that's not working in the So this apparently expires in 7 days, but Rick had got a permanent one, and I don't know how he did that. He's smarter than me. Most people are. That's the Discord link. So yeah. As far as I know, Katie Joy's gonna be. I don't know what she's gonna do. Do you reckon that she's just about ready to explode, or have we? I know I saw that, Ashleen. We looked at that last week. Do you think that Katie Joy's going to implode, or do you think she's there already? I'm just not sure. And how many more people can she accuse? I mean, you should be able to. Oh, okay. Can I? Okay. Well, that is true. He did do that. It's just like I often have Twitter arguments with former Victorian Premier Jeff Kennett when he talks about the effect of health on lockdown, and I remind him that he privatised all of our mental health facilities. She seemed calm today. I haven't watched her Plan to Create. I have not given her an ounce of airtime today. Was she calmer? Oh, Ballistic got kicked out. Oopsies. No, her YouTube channel's. Oh, she's accusing so many people. Huh? Oh, she said the S word. Yeah, you can't. I put that's in my. Just realised the Douglas account's cancelled. Okay. It's in one of my banned words. She used the S word. I have put in the standard. She said she welcomes people that talk about it. Really? Ah! Wow. Sorry, Belize. Yeah, that's all right. I just saw what you said. Normally, yeah, I've just put the list of those profanity, all the standard swear words in there, because when we had the spammers the other night, they were. Can you have a list of banned words? It's essentially the naughty ones. The S and F and etc. etc. I think that's it. And then when we had the spammers the other night, I had to put some of those words in. I wonder if I were to post the banned words in the list, whether I'd get banned, whether I'd get kicked. It is, but it's still in my list of words because it's offensive to people of other countries' physics. And I need to respect people from other countries as well. I know it's a term of I know. We'll need to get creative. The ones that were challenged in certain areas, yeah. The mods are not for the naughty words. They are for. No, I think I've got everybody blocked out. I think I've got everyone blocked out for the naughty ones. For most of them, everyone. So most of the permissions I've put are very generous. Also a good idea to add keywords of your personal details. Yes. Oh, yes, that's a good idea too. But you know what, Kristen? Considering that at the moment, with our borders closed, I think it's pretty minimal. I think, but unless they're rich. Hello, Suzanne. How are you? We've been talking about a whole variety of stuff tonight, but we're not talking about, who we just cannot be bothered anymore. We've talked about Britney Spears, Bill Cosby, some Australian stuff. So we talked about the woman that stole millions of dollars and has disappeared with only her foot remaining. We've talked about the Australian government. You're a walking thesaurus. So cool. And we haven't really spoken about FriendlyJorides, but we've also been talking about we haven't done it yet, but we haven't got on to FriendlyJorides yet, about the freedom being taken away by a journalist being arrested for walking past a politician's car. That's FriendlyJorides. So quite a fascinating story, actually. And that goes. That defamation case is due to start next Friday. So I guess much less to worry about all the way in Australia. Yeah, at the moment, well, allegedly our borders are closed, but it's been revealed that the government has been allowing people with money to fly in and out of the country, so which is contradictory. So yeah, everything's a mess here at the moment. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just having a bit of a general chat, and then we're just discovering, well, FJ has all his live shows postponed due to COVID, and I think his court case in Australia, the court procedure is very slow anyway. Yes, we saw that. We watched that last night on stream. It bothers me that Andrew Bolt actually was disturbed by it. Well, I think she's going through her list. Or what is the Discord server called? It's called My Server. I'll just post the link again. I think mine's open, Crystal, but I can speak again. I've got to refer to Rick, because I tell him what I need to do. I tell him what I'd like done, and he does it, or I try to do it, and then he looks at what I've done and then rolls his eyes and goes, "Oh, I'll fix it." It's like when we get a message to say a video has been demonetized, he just rolls his eyes. So, but yes, we can make it private. But I have a private. Do have a chat that's about. There are some places that are locked down, but if you are concerned of that, I can actually put restrictions on. So yeah. So I guess you're all wondering what I've been doing. How many subs? Oh, the thing is, I go to and fro, John. This is the thing. I take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Don't forget, I've got the prizes. I keep waving the little Yodas about. But when I hit 2,000 subs, I'm just going to check how many subs I've got now. Yeah. You're considering moving to Melbourne? I was hoping property was going to go down. It says 1.95. Yeah, I think it's 1.9. I think it's 1.953. I think it's on because it does it to the nearest rounding. So I think I think I'm on 5.3. So anyway, so what I've been doing tonight, I told you Plan to Create has actually created a monster. I tell you, she created. So I picked this up in a cheap shop for $2. You can already see it's been tagged. Well, everyone's coming to Queensland. Remember, it's perfect one day, a beautiful one day, perfect the next. A July monthly calendar. It's actually every day. It's got a topic: pray for others. It's actually a faith. I've actually started a faith planner, and so every day has got a Bible reading. So I'm still working this out. I started it out really bad. So it's a double page. So it's got what I'm grateful for, the scripture reading, observations, things who I'm praying for, application, and then prayer requests. And so I've done one for each day. I'm doing one for each day. So I've been sitting here. I'm doing it manually, and I've run out of stickers and stuff. And so, yeah, every day's got a Bible verse. So August is going to be resting, and the themes will coincide with the themes in the Erin Condren. And then I'm working on sermon notes space. So there you go. That's what I'm working on at the moment. Told you she created a monster. Oh, thanks, Ballistic. Oh, look. I know that people talk about gratitude. I mean, I guess it's like doing a gratitude diary. I guess some people talk about gratitude diaries and writing down what you're grateful for. Well, I haven't ordered the Mario stickers because I've run out. I don't have any money. Wait till I find bullet journaling. I've been watching lots of bullet journaling stuff. I don't get paid till next week. So I'm waiting till I get paid till next week. I'm gonna see if I can fit Mario into the Bible. I actually did a whole thing on the Simpsons and the Bible. That was pretty cool. Busy structuring life. Well, look, it's got to be just trying to get my life organized and ordered. And I figure if I can get myself into some type of order, I feel like I have a little bit more control. And don't forget, I've got the envelopes that I'm starting to put money in, and I want to have $1,000 buffer. All right, good night, Gail. I know. The thing is, I know there's a gratitude channel. I've tried online stuff, and it doesn't work for me. I'm still, and I guess I'm showing my age because I still like that satisfaction of writing stuff down. Even in my music, even when I'm doing music, I still have to handwrite all the music scores. I still have my manuscript paper. And I didn't notice this before, but the little music book that I bought, this little music book that I got, says I love music. Actually has manuscript on one side and paper on the other. So, for example, songwriting, you can just jot down your little ideas in my head. I can just jot those things down, but I still have to handwrite everything out. You've posted. Oh, you want me to do the Aussie React? Do you want it to be a live React, Will, or do you want me to record the React? Cool. Yeah, so I've got this one that I've got $2 coins in. I've got $1 coins in that, and I've got my silvers in here. I now bullet on my eye. Oh wow! See, I don't have a pen. I don't have a pen, I've got an older iPad, but I don't have a pen. So I actually, so this is what I'm working on now. And again, it's all hand drawn. Most of my stuff's hand drawn because when I stuck pages in, because I was in lockdown when I started. So I've got dailies here, but then I went and got the Erin Condren, and this is the student one. So it's a student one so I can keep track of my dates and stuff, which I really like. My shout for coffee. Yeah. Except your kids, yeah. So so this is the, because I didn't think I was going to get it in June because postage was so slow. So that's August. So I can see exactly what's due at what time, and then it goes into weekly. So, but this is the Erin Condren student planner, which I'm going into in August. But I think I've been finally finding a it's just turned into planning. I'm also finding keeping at the daily list very helpful as well. And then I've just come across a one where I'm going to add check boxes every day, and there's 6 essential tasks that I will do, and there's the 6 essential tasks every day, and that gets ticked off, and then we take it. I know we blame plan to create. See, she created a monster. You should see all the stuff. I've pulled stuff out of wardrobes and everything, and it's all on the floor. It's all on the floor because I'm just trying to sort out what I've got to use. And I've got the original Cricut here, and I can't find the power cable for it. Because once I get that going, there'll be no stopping me. The cult of planning. I'll be organised though, yes. And then I've already started one. I've got one here for my teaching, for my music teaching. See, everything's a planner. Everything's planned. I've got it all planned. Got the lessons all planned out. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to have to get a cover for this one now. But anyway, that's what I've started on. Need something for storage boxes. I actually realised I've actually got tubs of old. Because I've been walking around. I've actually been planning most of my life, but I didn't know it because I found all my old books. So, look, I know people do bullet journal on the iPad, but I just can't do it yet. I have converted to putting my music on the iPad. I find the iPad doesn't fall off. You know, like when you have lots of pages on the piano, the pages can fall off. Well, the iPad doesn't do that. And I've got a pedal that's connected by Bluetooth that I just press and it turns the pages for me. So I've gone that far, but I haven't been able to go. I can't even keep my Outlook calendar or my Google calendar. I can't keep any calendars on my phone. Everything has to be written down. If it's not written down, it's not there. So, and when you're at university with, I was going to say kids. Well, they're my kids' age. With fellow students who are your children's age. And they've got all the technology stuff, but often you'll say, well, why don't you write it down? And they look at you as if you're to sort out, and oh cool, you're going to archive your planners. Cool. So as I said, plan to create's got a YouTube channel. I think she's got over 2,000 members. She hit the 2,000 mark, which was really cool. I've actually got a whole list. I've actually done a whole shopping list of a wish list from various shops today. And I've still got Plan to Create's page open here. I'm going to stop looking at it. Oh, dear. It's funny. Yeah. So anyway, so that's what I've been doing while we've been chatting, because I can multitask. I've just been, paying attention to chat, particularly when we're just sitting here talking generally about things. I'm just doing that. I might, and the thing is, I quite often do them when I'm, watching YouTube videos and I forget to film them because, but I need to. So I hope I can find the Mario stickers again. I could almost do comedy skits. Oh, look, I think I'm funny. I'm often funny without even knowing it. Like at the start tonight when I made those implications about Rick and Nightbot. That was totally by accident. Yeah, I can find you those Mario stickers. They're sitting in my my wish list cart. Just don't forget the camera is on. Yeah, I know. Somebody's watching. What, you don't want me to pee in the cup? Yeah, isn't it? I mean, I think it's a dying art, isn't it, Kirsty? So. Oh, really? So I left a comment on the new KJ video and I explained how no one has taken her voice since no one took down her YouTube or suspend her. And it's still up there, Will. Wowzers. There's been some interesting comments, though, that have not been taken down yet. She's going to say that she's been gaslit again. Unfortunately. So, yeah. It's on my alt. Oh, dear. I don't know. I mean, I'm just fine. I just don't know what she's playing it. It's quicker with paper and in book form. It is, and yeah. And I tag. I mean, I quite often use tags for everything, and I flag. I just flag that, use tags, and so they'll go, oh, can someone find such and such, and I'll just pull it up. I'm one of those students that unfortunately has to print everything out in order to read it, to highlight it, because I like to highlight. I can't highlight on the iPad. So, yeah. I know I kill lots of trees, but still, it's what works for me. So, he's louder than a single voice. I will ever silence her. The only one now that would be... Well, it was interesting because I did hear her say something about people have tried to silence her, and I thought the only person that I could imagine that would try to have silenced her would have been her lawyer. Filled with highlighters? I know. I'm sitting here with coloured pens. I am the person that you need to come to if you need a pen. They'll say to me, do you have a pen? And I'll say, I do. What colour would you like it in? Because I've got red, I've got pink, I've got orange, I've got blue, I've got black, I've got Sharpie. Yeah. Yeah, I like to be able to scribble notes on them. Yeah, I like to be able to do that. But as I said, I think it's something that's a dying art, and I still like to read hardcover. There's just something about having a literal book in your hand rather than the iPad. There's just I just like that feeling of a real book. You know, I'm not really a Kindle type person, or, you know. No, you can never have too many Sharpies. I do agree with that. You can never have too many Sharpies. That is a true fact. Magenta. I have to agree. You can never have too many Sharpies. So, yeah. So I think we might call it a night now that I've shown you my planning, what my planning is. So I think I'm gonna have to get a bigger bag to fit all my plans. But Ballistic, I am gonna do some videos of the planning once I've got it sort of done. I do like typo pens. I actually have a thing for. I do like typo. In fact, I wish I'd bought the spiral bound, but I got this from the reject shop and it was $2. So, and I will look at the video. I will. There we go. All right, and I'll do an Aussie reaction. I'll do an Aussie reaction tomorrow. I won't even look at it until tomorrow, and I'll do a live reaction on stream for you. So just so that you know, so if you're on the Discord and Osbella has drawn a photo of you, you'll find it in the community section. Essentially, there's topic suggestions if you've got something that you'd want me to chat to talk about. Updates will be just general. I don't know. General is where most of the chatting goes, and screenshots is if you've got something that you want to share. But generally, general. I don't have lots of rules, so at the moment. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a great day, a great night. And catch you tomorrow. And I guess when I wake up tomorrow, I'll see what the next saga in the Katie Joy days of our lives will be. All right, you have a good one.